Hi and welcome to another session of advanced readings. This is a technique that we use in spiritualism a lot, and it also inspired me when I had the oracle readings through the Nadi oracles, where our messages were given to me thousands of years in advance, mind-boggling stuff. And also, of course, it's used in when you're using clairvoyance by email reading and sometimes by telephone. You know things before the person calls you. So I'm inspired by this technique and I hope it helps you. There could be a message here for you today. So you'll see me working in blue light for this, because this is how the medium can get close to spirit. We often use a red or blue light in my circle, particularly if you're doing physical or trance work. Anyway, hope you enjoy these sessions. Okay, I've got somebody talking to me, given me the names Jonathan and Kathy. They seem to go together, and they're talking here about, I think it's the spirit person's John or Jonathan is talking to me here, saying that he went to spirit and there was a lot of unresolved problems in his life with Kathy, or his wife, before he went, because I feel like they were at a point of divorce or something like that. There were some really serious, difficult issues happening, and when he got ill, they started to kind of heal a bit on that level, that they were psychologically and spiritually beginning to heal. But he was being racked with an illness. It felt like something like a prostate or something like that is making him sick here. And he's gradually it's turning into a condition that's gone through his whole body. And so I'm getting the feeling from him that I want to reach out to somebody here to say sorry. We nearly sort of patched it up again, and it's like he's gone to the spirit with all this unresolved difficulty, but now he's there, he can see it clearly, and from his point of view it's resolved, that he doesn't hold any grudges. And I feel that's the kind of the message I want to put across to you who's listening to this, because I think your name is Kathy. I think the person receiving this is Kath or Kathy, or sounds similar name to that if I'm hearing it slightly wrong. And he wants to say I'm sorry. He wants to say that he's perfectly healthy, of course, now in the spirit world. And I want to say you had to do what you had to do. You had no choice in it, really, because he was being very, very difficult with things. And then the illness kind of threw everything out as well, because he came down quite quickly with it. It was quite advanced when he found out about it. And it completely turned him around. And we actually discovered that we really did care for each other again, despite all that. And that's the sense that he's giving me here. And it's as if to say, we'll all be well again between us, and now get on with life as you would want to get on with life in your own way, whichever way you choose. He's saying to me that at least we know that we managed to sort things out. I feel there was a dog as well, and they're talking about green fields. I don't know if that's a place or as a hospice or something, but I just heard the word green fields or something similar to that. I'm being hearing here with it as well. He could be quite in his best, particularly when he was younger. He's quite a fun sort of person, I feel too. And he used to drink a bit younger, didn't when he was older, but I feel as if some of that was in his life. He didn't have a very good memory and would forget a lot of dates and birthdays and names. But his memory, that wasn't his fault, that's just the way he was wired. And he says also that he's telling me he changed jobs many times in life too. And there was an interest for a while, I think, in golf, because I get golf and golf tournaments, or watching golf, or maybe playing golf as well. But I feel that that's there in the background of his life as well. And I don't know if there was also someone in the family, or it was him. I don't think it was him, but there was someone also who was a doctor. And I just sensed him talking about being a doctor. So I don't know if that makes sense somewhere with you, whether it's him or whether someone's learning to be a doctor, or there's a doctor friend around you. But he's just saying that you would understand the significance of that. There's something significant to that. for you there in those sentences. But he's basically coming to say, we sorted it out, thank God, and now I can rest in peace, as it were. Not that they do in the spirit world, but he feels his soul's at rest, knowing that you've also resolved it in your mind, and we found goodness out of what was turning into a very bad situation.
So maybe that message was for you, and if it was, please do leave a comment in the comments below on YouTube so that other people can recognize that this is real. I mean, if you look back at some of the older videos, you'll see that some of the most strange and obscure messages have been taken to the letter, and there's been some interesting stories that have developed once a person has made the comment. So leave a comment, and even if the message isn't for you, it's still a good idea to leave a comment, because this helps spirit to connect with us and maybe get you a message next time.
I've got someone connecting with me who's talking about Romanies, and in particular the people that are involved with the fairgrounds and carnivals and things like this, because I'm being shown all the coconut shies and the bumper cars and everything like this. And the person that's talking to me, I think, was actually part of that, had some involvement in that type of things. Because it seems it feels a bit more modern than the traditional type of thing, more Cirque du Soleil sort of feel to it. But I've got this person talking to me here who's saying that he was involved in that type of world. I don't think it's the circus. I think it's more like carnivals and things like that, like moving from town to town. And he was he'd call a spade a spade. He'd be very straight with people, always looking for a deal, always actually quite well off money wise as well, because I feel he wasn't just a worker here, he had some interest in it and owns things. And he's talking about his life there. So it's a very unusual connection for me to get something like this, but he's reaching out to someone who would know him. Nichols, I want to say, as an insignificant name for this, which you would understand. And also the P something brothers, something, the brothers with the name P, I can't get the rest of it. Perkins brothers, something like that. So whoever's receiving this would understand those names and would understand the connection, and would understand that he was very close to you, because you weren't in the field in the same way he was, but you knew him well. And this is more like a friendship as opposed to a family connection, I want to say here. It feels like the person receiving this message is not, I don't think you're part of his family from what I can feel. I feel it was like you were good friends. You might have even travelled with him a bit and got to know him. And he's talking about, he would be a bit of a joker, I think, because he's saying you owe me some money. All right. I think you really do owe him some money, but he's making a bit of a joke of it. So you got off scot-free when I went over there. I'm asking how he passed over, and I feel it was lung cancer, I think he's trying to say to me, because he was a heavy smoker, and I feel that it's got his lungs. And he knew he shouldn't have done that, but he did. He didn't really look after his health very well at all, I've got to say. I wouldn't say, I'm trying to see his age. He's not old and he's not young. He's kind of, I think I want to put him in his 50s, maybe into his 60s. But his skin had gone. It gives me the feeling that his skin had gone bad. And so he looked older than his years in life. But he's quite a fun person. He never let you down, actually. Once you were his friend, he would never let anyone that was his friends down. Though he's a bit of a rough diamond, I've got to say. So he's just given a message of love to you, and he's an unusual type of person to connect with someone from the spirit, but I'm sure this is going to find a recipient. And if it has reached you and you can take those names and you can take this connection, please do put a comment so others can see that these spirit messages are taken. And I feel him sending clowning around with you and telling you that in a way, life, we all pass. It gives me this fit talking, like saying we all pass through. We all just pass through this life. Whatever our status, whether we're rich or poor, we are just like the travelling circuses and the travelling fairgrounds. We're just on a path. We're just on a journey through life. And he would speak like that and think like that when he was here in life. But he says it's actually the same for every single person. And he's saying, look at that with your life, that when you live your life, don't look for the permanence of things and just move with life and travel through it. And it becomes a much greater adventure for you. That's his way of putting it. Okay, so love from him in the spirit world. Now I'm getting all army images. I'm not sure if I'm in the American Army or the British Army here or whatever, but I'm in the desert. I'm in a rundown place. I think I'm in Afghanistan, but it could be any of the Middle East, because I've got a young man here, and he tells me the person receiving it would understand this straight away because he trod on a bomb, he trod on a mine or whatever it was, a booby trap, and it blew him to pieces. It blew 3 of them actually. 2 were very, very seriously injured, and he died. So there's a group of 3 that went at the same time here, he says. Well, two survived, but he went, and he's sending his thoughts first of all to his mates that survived, because they were severely disabled, I feel, from this. So there's a connection straight away I feel he wants to make to his friends, who are still strong, because I still feel they're physically strong despite that they've had bad injuries to legs and arms and things, but the rest of them, they keep fit, so they're keeping their athletic kind of feel to them. And he was a bit of a Jack the Lad, this boy, because he's quite young, but he looks older than his years actually, because people didn't realise, because he built his body up quite a lot. He looked a lot more older than you'd think he would be. He already had a piece missing from his ear, I've got to say. So as part of the proof of who he is, he would have had a small part missing from his ear already, not just after this happened, but this was already from something else, where there was some mucking around thing that had done that. No, not military battles or anything like that. He shows me a little, like, a feather thing that goes in a beret. So it's like a feather. It's like pointing upwards from the beret in black on that you would wear on the hat. I don't know what that sign means, but it seems to be showing that, and 3 guns. I think 3 rifles. I want to say that seems to be connected with this. So that might mean something to his badge, and he's wants to say to those that are listening here that are picking this up, because I think the message is going out to his mates that were in the army with him. But there was also a girl he left behind too, because I don't think we were married, is the feeling I get, but we were very, very close, and we were like a couple, and he's just sending his love to everybody. It's fun, really, because despite the fact that this all happened, he didn't believe in life after death, but to wake up and find himself in the spirit world, he says to me, it was like a bonus. I had no idea. I didn't expect anything to exist after life. And he never even really thought about it much, because he didn't want to. Going into battle, he was always living in the present. He never thought about consequences of dying or not dying, and you would think you would in the army, but he says that's his way. He said, I would just always live in the present. It was my policy always to live in the present moment. And I think he might have understood that, because he would have said that to you. He had somebody in the family that was very religious, a woman in the family. I don't think it was his mother, I think it was his grandmother was very religious, but he wasn't himself, and just lived in the present, like I say. He always felt he was invincible and would live forever, but unfortunately the mine or whatever got him. He was very anti-Islam right from the start, I've got to say. He did have a strong prejudice side to him. They should not have ever put him in terms of in public relations with the army or anything like that, because he was useless at that. He had no patience for the people of the country. So it was a bit short-sighted in many ways, but he was also, that's his nature, and eventually it took his life. But he comes, like I say, with a sense of wanting to share the fact that it's all right, lads. He said something exists beyond, and if you do understand the message, do put a comment below if it is for you and you can understand all the details that I've given in this, so we can prove to others here also that there's life after death. Okay, but do take his love and know that he's there and he's well, and he has a really cheeky smile, and it's very much the same. And he says, I'll be this way for eternity, in a way, because that's how he projects himself, and as he'll always be remembered.
So I hope that helped, because it's lovely doing this and giving messages to people out there, and I know some of you get very excited by the messages that you get, so thank you for your feedback. And if you do enjoy watching all this, why not come and get a reading at my website, because I've got a team of readers, you know, that are on there 24/7, and there's lots of special deals there at the moment. For example, in the UK, if you're a new customer, you can use our welcome offer and get 29 pence a minute for the first 10 minutes, so you can try a reading for very little. Same with the USA, we've got 59 cents per minute for the first 10 minutes on the welcome offer. So thanks for watching my channel, and do come back and follow us. Click that little bell thingy at the bottom of the page there. We do loads of things here, as well as all these readings. We've got my family involved, we've got all sorts of investigations, we've got my mystic talks, so we're inspired, we got lots of readings, you'll see our stuff with the media and all sorts of things. So keep watching, and keep watching now, because coming up will be the playlist of more videos like this one today, so there could be another message there for you today.